This is Ron Podcast 2 from Ledger Books to Legacy: How Software Modernized the Funeral Industry. From Ledger Books to Legacy: How the Software Modernized the Funeral Industry with Ron Williams. I'm Jason Williams. Welcome to Digital Decades, the podcast where we explore the fascinating history of computing through the eyes of those who lived it. Today we have a very special guest, a true pioneer who's been making computers work for business since 1967. He's built custom solutions for countless industries, but today we're diving into a story you might not expect: how Ron Williams, founder of Williams Computer Consulting, helped revolutionize the funeral home industry with custom software. Ron, welcome to the show. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here and share a few war stories from the trenches of software development. I've been around long enough to see computing go from room-sized mainframes to these little pocket wonders, and the journey has been nothing short of amazing. Ron, funeral home software revolution. That sounds like a niche, but incredibly impactful story. Where did it all begin? Oh, it started like many good projects with a problem that needed solving. It was the late 80s, early 90s. We were already doing a lot of work with businesses, helping them with their accounting, inventory, payroll, you name it. One day I got a call from a funeral director. He was a good, hardworking man, but he was drowning in paperwork. Imagine, back then, everything was done by hand: ledger books for accounts, separate cards for each deceased, another set of cards for the next of kin, inventory of caskets, urns, flowers. Every single piece of information was meticulously written, often in triplicate. If you needed to find a record from 5 years ago, you'd be digging through dusty cabinets for hours. If there was a mistake, well, good luck finding it. Sounds like a logistical nightmare. It was. And remember, these aren't just dry business transactions. These are families in mourning, needing empathy, speed, and accuracy during one of the hardest times of their lives. Delays or errors due to paperwork just added to their burden. The director explained how he was constantly feeling overwhelmed, spending more time on administration than on serving families or managing his staff. He just wanted a better way to keep track of everything. So, what was your initial approach? How did you even begin to digitize something so complex and sensitive? Well, I always say you can't just throw technology at a problem. You have to understand the business first. My son, who now works with me, often jokes that I spend more time learning about a client's business than writing code in the early stages. And it's true. We sat down with this director and then with others. We spent weeks, months, actually walking them through single process, from the first call to arrangement conferences to burial or cremation, grief support, billing, pre-need arrangements, every single step. We learned about the unique terminology, the regulatory requirements, the emotional weight of each interaction. It wasn't just data entry, it was about honoring a life to support a grieving family. I saw an opportunity to put some real management tools to work that would truly transform their operations. And what kind of software did you envision? What were the key features it needed? We started simple, leveraging what we knew best: databases. We were doing a lot with Access and Visual Basic 3 and 4 at the time, building custom accounting systems. We realized the core need was a centralized database, one place where all the information about the deceased individual, their family, services, products, and financial transactions could reside. The first iteration focused on case management, tracking every detail for each service: date of death, cause, attending physician, next of kin, service details, eulogy info, obituary text. products and service inventory, a robust system for caskets, urns, flowers, keepsakes, and all the various services offered. Financials, streamlined billing, invoices, payment tracking, and interrogation with general ledger accounts. Reporting, generating death certificates, veterans forms, funeral programs, and management reports at the touch of a button. The goal was clear: eliminate duplication of effort, reduce errors, and free up the funeral directors to do what they do best: care for families. It was a classic software make some work scenario. So you built this custom solution. What was the reaction like from the first funeral homes that adopted it? The initial reaction was a mix of awe and a bit of trepidation. Remember, for many of these folks, the most advanced piece of technology they used daily was their calculator. Introducing a computer system that managed their entire operation was a huge leap. There was training, lots of hand holding, and showing them this wasn't some fancy gadget, but a tool to make their lives easier. But once they saw it in action, how could they pull up a client's full history in seconds, generate a perfect death certificate without retyping, or track inventory levels without a clipboard? The light bulbs went off. They saw how much time it saved, how many errors it prevented, and how it allowed them to provide better, more efficient services to families. Word started to spread. Other funeral homes, hearing about the efficiency gain, started calling us. And this grew into a major part of your business, correct? It absolutely did. We ended up developing what became one of the leading funeral home management software solutions in the country for a good long while. We learned so much about an industry that from the outside seemed simple, but was incredibly complex and deeply personal. We even integrated it with larger systems for things like government filings. We were constantly refining it. When the internet came along, we had to figure out how to integrate online obituaries and grief resources. When accounting standards changed, the software had to adapt. That's the thing about this business. You have to keep learning, keep adapting. I've probably had to relearn computing 5 or 6 times over the decades, and this project was prime example of continuous evolution. What do you think the biggest impact of this evolution you helped spark? The biggest impact beyond the efficiency gains was really giving the funeral directors back their time and peace of mind. They could focus on comforting families, arranging meaningful services, and building community relationships rather than being buried under a mountain of administrative tasks. It elevated their professionalism and allowed them to serve their clients with a level of accuracy and speed that was simply impossible before. It also helped them manage their business better. Suddenly, they had real time data on sales, costs, and trends. They could make informed decisions about purchasing, staffing, and marketing. It truly put some real management tools to work for them. That's an incredible testament to the power of thoughtful software development. What lessons did you carry from this particular project into other areas of your consulting? So many lessons. Listen, truly listen to your client. They are the experts in their business. Your job is to translate their needs into technical solutions. Two, start with the basics, then iterate. Don't try to build the Taj Mahal in one day. Get the core functionality right, then expand. Three, embrace complexity. No business is simple. The true value is often found in understanding and automating the intricate, messy parts. Technology is a tool, not a magic wand. It only works if it serves a real business need and is adopted by the people using it. And perhaps the most enduring lesson, even in the most traditional, sensitive industries, technology can be a force for immense good, making lives easier, businesses stronger, and services better. Ron, your stories are always so insightful and inspiring. Thank you for sharing the fascinating journey of the funeral home software revolution with us today. My pleasure. Always happy to talk about how software makes them work.